Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Visa Checkout is the easier way to pay online.
Okay, just enter your password and check out.
But can Kaloe and Dino really pay for Pizza Hut inside one of the heaviest waves in the world? Sign up now. Visa Checkout, the easier way to pay online. Visa, everywhere you want to be.
Visa Checkout and Pizza Hut are ready to dish up 1 million free pizzas. Get yours now at pizzahut.com.
Welcome to the State Farm Postgame Show.
And welcome to the State Farm Postgame Show. As the magical voice said, I'm Kurt Menefee along with Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy. We're going to get you caught up on everything that has happened thus far in Week 2. And it's been an exciting Week 2. If you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, Terry Bradshaw, they went into Tennessee, took care of business.
Well, how about this? They attempted to run the football 43 times. That's Tony Romo. And only attempted 29 passes. Well, DeMarco Murray, a 3-yard touchdown run with great effort, gets it in early. Cowboys up 10-0 over Tennessee. Third quarter, Romo back. Romo, no interceptions on the day. But there's the fade. That's the hitch. Corner cut off the fade route. Turn around, throw to the back shoulder. There's Dez Bryant. 26-10 is your final. Cowboys get their first win on the season over the Tennessee Titans.
DeMarco Murray, 167 yards on the and a touchdown on the ground. Dez Bryant, 10 catches, 103 yards, a touchdown. And an interview with Pam Oliver.
Well, Dez Bryant saying the shoulder's fine, the calf's fine, and you looked fine. What was the biggest difference today with the offense versus what we saw against San Francisco?
Well, we were determined a little bit more this week. Some of the mistakes that we made last week, we knew that it was our fault. And we went in, we adjusted, and we stayed to the plan, and we came out with a W.
And, you know, the first person to say it was his fault last week was Tony. He said, I was rusty. I need to get better. How would you evaluate him today?
Oh, man, he came out and did what Tony do. You know, it came out, and anything that went bad, he stayed straight for it. You know, and he knew what he wanted. He wanted us to win, and he went out there and got us that W today.
Appreciate it, Des.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Aaron Andrews. Give me more, Terry Bradshaw.
Starting quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals, Carson Palmer out with a shoulder injury. Eli Manning, he's not hurt. Too many interceptions. What a great throw, though, and catch. Ruben Randall on the receiving end of the 7-yard touchdown. It's 10-7 Cardinals. Then the Giants punt Ted Ginn.
And he is stuffed. Bobby Wagner rechecked in quickly up in L.A. with Joel Klatt for a game break.
All right, Tom, let's go to Cleveland, where Brian Hoyer is trying to bring Cleveland back. Down by 1, under 15 seconds. Breakdown in coverage. Andrew Hawkins sets up Billy Cundiff. 29 yards for the win. Cleveland by 2, 26-24. Tom, David, and Laura.
That's a big win for the Cleveland Browns, who played a terrible first half in Pittsburgh last week, played a great second half. Here's second down. And on the crossing pattern, catches made by the second-year standout.
Matt Ryan came into the day leading the NFL in passing yardage after a great game last week against the Saints. It's been a rough game today for Ryan. For the third time, he has been picked off, and for the second time, it's by George Iloka, of all people. Bengals are going to go to 2-0. Falcons will fall to 1-1. That is now a final. They are shaking hands at midfield at Paul Brown Stadium.
So people may say, hey, it's the opening drive. You want to establish the physical dominance right away up front.
Donald Brown joining Ryan Matthews in the backfield on his 3rd and 1. San Diego is the best at this 3rd and 1 in the league last year. And they'll convert again. Matthews out of the backfield, run out of bounds right in midfield. First down, San Diego.
Doing a great job of getting him out of the backfield. You'll see they do a great job of sending across Keenan Allen to open him up and give him that one-on-one matchup to the sideline to create that first down.
Hard to believe that Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay not one time in 33 pass attempts threw to Richard Sherman's side, and Pete Carroll said, we're not moving guys around. We have confidence in everybody. He's staying on that side.
And if there's anyone happy about that, it's Byron Maxwell. He's got 4 picks or 5 picks in the last 6 games. Throw me the football. Come my way. If you want to do that, I'm going to take advantage of it as well.
Matthews, a first down carry for a couple of yards. All right. Talked about Ornberger getting the start in place of Nick Hardwick. Ryan Matthews hoping for a bigger game. And boy, the Seattle defense, you can pick anybody.
You sure can. But Bobby Wagner in the middle of that defense, you know, those crossing routes across the middle that they're going to want to throw without to be able to have the contact, he's going to have a big game in the middle for him.
Matthews slips inside defenders, very close to another. Chargers first down, maybe about a foot short.
These are the situations that San Diego offense want to have. Stay in those 3rd and short situations. Keep out of those 3rd and 8 plus, because that's when this Seattle defense can pin their ears back and not worry about anything else but attack the quarterback.
So 3rd time on this series, the Chargers have had 3rd and 2 or less. This is less than a yard. They'll move the chains again. Tell you what, it's only the first drive of the game, but San Diego on offense is coming out clearly not intimidated by the Seahawks defense.
No, they're not. When we talked to Mike McCoy and Phillip Rivers, they said, we're going to run our offense. This is what we want to do. This is what's going to give us the best opportunity to win this football game. It's not about them. It's about us as an offense.
Ball to Seattle 39, the 10th play of this drive. Wide open Woodhead. And that is another first down to the Seattle 25. This was a big part of San Diego's success last season. Extended drives, long drives, multiple plays.
You're going to see they're going to come up the middle. You're going to watch Danny Woodhead take this out of the backfield. He's just going to run a little diagonal to the inside. See him break, clears out, nobody blitzes, gets into the open gap. Hey, this is what they want to do. If you're not going to blitz, if you're only going to rush 4, we're going to get our back out of the backfield and we're going to dink and dunk downfield.
Go play!
Fumble on the exchange, and it appears from here as though Rivers was able to fall on top of it.
Let's go to Washington. Kirk Cousins is a winning quarterback today, although Robert Griffin III got the start. The Redskins go to 1-1, and the longest losing streak of the NFL is over. It was 9. Redskins win 41-10. The Jaguars are 0-2.
San Diego Chargers offensive lineman ever. So to replace him, to make the calls at the line of scrimmage, to have to do all those things, yeah, that's great. But you got to get the ball to the quarterback first.
Last year, the Chargers, 39 drives of 10 plays or more, looking for the big one here, and had an eye on Royal in the corner of the end zone. So this will bring up their first 3rd and long on this opening drive. Their other 3 have been 3rd and 2 or less.
And this is something that they struggled with in the 4th quarter last week against Arizona. The 3rd and 8s, the 3rd and 13s. Those aren't the positions you want to put yourself in, especially early on in this football game.
Rivers 5 of his first 6.
Rocket!
3rd down and 9. And Rivers sacked. Michael Bennett back at the 33-yard line.
You're going to watch Cliff Averill off of the edge. He's going to get DJ Fluker to turn on his 2nd step. You've got to stay square. He's going to bend this edge. You're going to see him turn Fluker. So what it's going to do is it's going to force everything back inside. It is going to force everything back. He doesn't have that room to step up and really get in there. That's where they create those sacks.
So it'll be a 50-yard field goal attempt. Novak has been automatic inside of 40. When you start stretching beyond 50, only 8 of 14 in his career. But this one is hammered. And easily.
So we have a score here. 3-0. Field goal, Nick Novak. Let's go to Tampa. Austin Davis got the start. The undrafted kid, although 3rd year in the league, out of Southern Miss. And he has 2 completions on this drive to Brian Quick, who had 6 for 99 a week ago. Rams are driving.
Here is
Zach Stacy. And Stacy picking up about 3 yards. Last week, Brian Quick had career highs with 7 catches and also 99 yards. And he had a career game last week, and they start featuring him early today.
46, Corey Hargey's going to have a big day today because he has to be the lead blocker for Zach Stacy, for Benny Cunningham. He's going to be leading the way for these guys. Didn't see a lot of him last week, but he needs to step up big today.
2nd down and 7. And a penalty.
Neutral zone infraction, number 93 of the defense. 5-yard penalty, repeat, 2nd down.
That'll be against the Buccaneers, and now time for a game break. Let's join Joel Klatt.
All right, Dick, we go out to Cleveland. Brian Hoyer trying to bring the Browns back. Down by 1, under 15 seconds, and the Saints blow the coverage. Andrew Hawkins sets up Billy Cundiff. 29 yards for the win. Cleveland wins it by 2, 26-24.
Well, you can't make this stuff up of what's happening in the league. And there is an end around by Tavon Austin. Austin breaks a tackle, gets inside the 20, and gets pushed inside the 15-yard line. So Austin, who had several plays in the backfield for the Rams last week, gets 18 yards on the end around, and now the Rams impressive on their drive.
Big one thing when you're an NFL player, you come in on Wednesday and you get the game plan. And the head coach say, this is who we need to stop. This is the game breaker. Well, Tavon Austin, he's the game breaker, Dick. That you give him the football, he's a threat to take it the distance every single time he touches it.
Meanwhile, Gerald McCoy has left the game. And Akeem Spence has replaced him on the defensive line. And Zach Stacy, very impressive. And he gets close to the 5-yard line, will be short of the first down by about a yard. Keep in mind, Stacy, in last year's victory for the Rams, had 104 yards against the Buccaneers. He gets 9 on this one. And there is Sean Hill. And Jeff Fisher's comment was, Austin Davis will start, but don't be surprised if Sean Hill sees some action in this game. 1st and goal at the 5. Or 2nd and 1, we should say. Stacy gets the first down as he drives to the 2.
Stacy, ball carrier.
So far, I like this drive of the St. Louis Rams. Been a good mix of run and pass. They've taken a couple shots down the field as far as pushing the ball in that 10 to 15-yard mark, but we're seeing what the St. Louis Rams
reports as an eligible receiver.
We're seeing what the St. Louis Rams are built on. It's about physical running between the tackles, and that's what's going to help out a young Austin Davis in his first career start.
Well, the Bucs defense has been on the field more than 5 minutes, and Kim Barnes, number 61, is an extra lineman, but the drive, and Zach Stacy is in there for the touchdown. And so if the Buccaneers were able
and the Rams march right down the field, Zach Stacy, the 2nd year back out of Vanderbilt, with the touchdown. First look today at Aaron Rodgers and the Packers without the football.
The New York Jets say they have it, and they do right off the bat. Sheldon Richardson, the defensive end, with the recovery.
Rookie center Corey Linsley with the exchange problem with Aaron Rodgers. That was one of the things we talked to Aaron Rodgers about. He felt very comfortable with the job that Linsley did last week against Seattle, felt good about his offensive line in general. But that time there, whether the ball was short or Aaron pulled out of there too quick, the Jets end up with the ball in great field position.
Chris Johnson in the backfield. And Geno Smith calling signals out of the shotgun. Johnson can't get away. Maybe a
So
yard.
you thought we had action here in Lambeau on the first play from scrimmage with the Aaron Rodgers fumble. How about the first play from scrimmage in Denver? Peyton Manning, Emmanuel Sanders. Now that's good for 48 yards. Back to Green Bay. Peyton's approaching the red zone. When they get there, we'll get you there.
Smith to throw. Near side. Can't connect with his tight end, Jeff Cumberland. It'll be 3rd and 11. A solid offensive line in front of Geno Smith. Centered by Nick Mangold, the 9th-year veteran out of Ohio State. And the Jets with an NFL best 212 yards rushing last
I
week.
told you we'd get back to Denver when they get into the red zone. And here they are. Emmanuel Sanders again from Peyton Manning, this time to the 18-yard line. This is our first extended look today in Denver. This game is on channel 715. They're going to run it and get back to the line of scrimmage. Also underway on 717, the Raiders of the Houston Texans. Clay Matthews calls for noise on 3rd and 11. The Aaron Rodgers botched exchange on the first play from scrimmage gives the Jets great field position. And now I believe a timeout taken by the Jets. Gino and Rex call timeout. Denver.
I know Manning would like to get Demaryius Thomas going after he had one of his poorest games in the opener against the Colts. 3 drops. He's at the top of the screen. 2nd down and 10. And Manning, middle of the field, he's got his target. It's Julius Thomas. And he's down to the 4. He is a matchup nightmare, and already they've got it down to the 4 with Julius Thomas.
Well, you see the defense that time. Cooper has him, but he's so far off. No help from the linebackers. Look, you look at these linebackers. James Michael Johnson, they thought he'd be a substituted guy. And Josh Maga, not one of the original starters.
All right, 2 games at once. Split them up again. Green Bay and Denver. 3rd and 11 after the Jets call timeout. They can get a first down by getting the ball down to the 6-yard line. Peyton 1st and goal. That's Ball, Monte Ball. And that's Jeremy Curley. So Curley gets the new first down. New set of downs. They'll move the chains down to the 4. The Seahawks are in the end zone. And it's a pretty special touchdown. We'll show it to you coming up in a couple of seconds on DirecTV's Red Zone channel. 2nd and goal here for Peyton. That Chiefs defense wasn't helped any last week after the 3 Alex Smith picks. Here trying to stand tall. Julius Thomas put him up. Touchdown. Touchdown. Julius Thomas had a great first half a week ago. He does the same here to start. Denver in the end zone first. I mentioned the touchdown in San Diego. Here it is. It's Percy with the flip. And Percy Harvin is that fast. That's a touchdown. 7-3. Seattle takes the lead in San Diego. 2nd and goal at Lambeau.
And he is in a blocking position. Smith stumbles out of the pocket, and he's going to run for it, and he's going to make it to the end zone for the touchdown. It wasn't pretty, but it's 6 points on the board.
Well, and this isn't a broken play. This isn't where it looks like he almost fumbles the snap. He gets stepped on.
All right, let's go to Oakland here on DirecTV's Red Zone channel. First look today. Houston has the ball. Ryan Fitzpatrick and Arian Foster and company trying to go to 2-0.
So difficult. They get a lot of weight going up towards the field, and you see Woodson trying to get the ball away, and that's a smart player in Woodson, but that makes it tough. Foster, one cut up the field, get what you can get.
3 receivers for the Texans on 2nd and 4. Give it to Foster. Trying to get out left side, find some room. First down, Foster. Arian Foster still going at the 10. Foster is in. Touchdown, Texans. A 41-yard run.
Wow, you look at the film of Arian Foster and coming off that back injury last year that limited him to only 8 games. You wonder if he's ever going to get back to his old self, but he looked great on film last week in their game against the Redskins and picking right up where he left off today, off that left side of the offensive line behind Dwayne Brown and Ben Jones. What a great hold that was. He hit it hard, takes it to the house.
Yeah, and he showed great patience in moving right up in behind the big guys and then waiting for a little opening to come by. And he sidestepped the traffic and then burst into the secondary. Good stiff arm to get loose, and man, that's a great play.
And you see the way he wrapped up that football right at the very end. He had that fumble last week in the red zone against the Redskins that could have been a big play in that ball game.
They're going to take a look at this one. All scoring plays subject to review.
Arian Foster looking healthy and spry. As we take you to Tampa for the Bucks and the Rams, Percy Harvin Fox is in a game break. Now, as you see it again, it looks like he was out of bounds. Matter of fact, pretty certain Percy Harvin was out of bounds. We'll show you a different angle coming up in a second, but for the meantime, watch this one.
And number 11, Percy Harvin for the Seattle Seahawks.
So a first down they ruled on the 30-yard line, and Rainey this time gets knocked back. His forward progress will result in him losing 1 yard on the play. And again, it's William Hayes. So Hayes with a tough assignment. That's hip surgery in the offseason, making only his...
So, Percy Harvin, you tell me, is that out of bounds?
Year in his career.
Looks like out of bounds to me, isn't it? That's out of bounds. Should not have been a touchdown. They kicked the extra point. Doesn't matter now. 7-3.
Almost impossible to do for Chris Long. Second down and 11. McCown with the empty backfield. And he'll step out of bounds. And flag goes down. Janoris Jenkins.
Holding.
And a holding penalty called
Number 73 of the
against
offense. 10-yard penalty.
Anthony Collins.
Second down.
So it's, what do you do against Robert Quinn? And sometimes you just have to grab onto him. That's what Anthony Collins did.
Remember in the beginning of the football game when the lineups are rolling, I'm saying this is the matchup I want to watch. This is 73 Anthony Collins versus Robert Quinn, number 94 of the St. Louis Rams. Like I said, last week was Greg Hardy for Anthony Collins. This week, Robert Quinn, the NFC sack champion last year.
So now second down and 21. Ball back on the 19 of Tampa Bay. McCown out of the backfield is Rainey. Rainey breaks a tackle, and Rainey gets beyond the 30-yard line, gets to the 33. Good gain there. Sims making the stop, a pickup of 14, so they get 14 of those yards back as we wind down to about a half a minute remaining in the first quarter.
Let's go to Oakland, because upon further review, they have taken Arian Foster's touchdown off the board. So says Brad Allen and the crew in New York. Listen to Mike Carey.
Together, you could tell that it was short. Very nice work.
I know, officials always stick up for each other.
You're just bitter because Carey threw you out of your last game.
I'm not bitter. No. He probably did me a favor. I probably saved me a broken leg. That's the way I look at it.
All right, so it's first and goal for Houston from the 1. Foster. And he stopped short. C.O. Moore making another tackle for the Raiders.
That was great penetration. Very strong line play right there. You can see all the black shirts in the backfield right there. Arian Foster could not get up into that line of scrimmage before he made that cut you were talking about, Steve Tasker. And just a super job of getting penetration by that front 7 of the Raiders.
Once again, Foster, the running back. The fullback is Jay Prosh on second and goal. Fitzpatrick to the air, wide open touchdown, and it's J.J. Watt. Unbelievable! Watt catches the touchdown. This guy can do it all.
Well, they bring him in as a tight end on short yardage for obvious reason. The guy is an amazing athlete. He's enormous. He's tall, and yet, you forget about
J.J. Watt with a touchdown for the Texans as we go to Lambeau.
Now on 3rd and 14, here comes another pressure and another sack. Back at the 16-yard line, this time DeMario Davis. A trademark of a Rex Ryan defense. You don't know where it's coming from.
Aaron Rodgers having a rough day. 4th and 24. Somebody get that man some help as we go to San Diego, and it's 7-3 on a touchdown by Percy Harvin that clearly appears to have been no good. They let it go, but it looks as if Harvin clearly had stepped out of bounds.
So a very exciting first quarter. 7-3, Seattle in front.
Into the quarter, we're going to go to Denver on DirecTV's Red Zone channel. Jamal Charles barely touched the ball a week ago, and now he's limping to the sideline. Denver leading 7-0.
He had a foot issue. He injured a foot in the second preseason game, set out the rest of the preseason. We asked Coach Reed last night. He said, no, he's 100%. We were wondering if that's why he had so little action last week. He's got one player on his own side kind of rolling over him. And then thrown down with aggression. 2nd and 8. They go up the middle, and it's wide open for Knile Davis. Niall Davis takes it to the Denver 33, and Eric Fisher, the #1 overall pick a year ago, helped spring him for 25 yards.
It's good deception. Brandon Marshall chases the reverse and opens up the big lane inside. You got to do your job when you start chasing the football. Sometimes, the wrong guy had it. So
I got to tell you, Eric Fisher put about 3 people, just shoved them to the side. That was an incredible block by Fisher. And he gives the Chiefs a first down. Davis does at the 33. And Davis now comes off the pile, breaks the ankle tackle by Miller, and gets back to the line of scrimmage. And we've got an update. We're going to take you to the studio in New York and James Brown.
Jim, you knew that J.J. Watts would be a factor in this game.
Yeah, Phil, not a sack, not a bad pass, but a corner route. That's a 1-yard touchdown pass to J.J. Watt from Ryan Fitzpatrick. 7-0 Houston.
What can't he do? Jim Nance, Phil Simms, and Tracy Wolfson.
My gosh, is J.J. Watt earning that big contract he got just about 10 days ago. Couple of sacks last week, touchdown catch today. 2nd and 10 for the Chiefs. And they're going back to Davis for a 3rd straight time. They got a flag. It's going to go against Kansas City as he tiptoes out at the 18. It's going to be a holding call, I believe, on Ryan Harris, who had, again, been a former Bronco, 4 years here. Got the start today with Allen injured at right tackle.
Holding. Offense, number 68. 10-yard penalty. Replay. 2nd down.
Wipes out a 15-yard gain.
Anytime you see runs to the outside, number 68, definitely a hold on Von Miller. Because Von Miller moved outside, you got to change the assignments for the tackle and tight end. They didn't do it. Almost impossible. And when you see running backs get outside, that's when you get a lot of holding calls by the offensive line.
So they're working on the left foot of Jamal Charles. Penalty backs him up to the 43 and a 2nd and 20. Davis. And again, it's Ward coming up from his strong safety spot to hold him to 1.
This is what T.J. Ward, one of the reasons he's brought in here. Yeah, it's a little speed, but it's more about attacking the line of scrimmage and making plays like this. Last week against the Colts, he had some chances to make tackles and didn't get it done. That was a really good start for him in this game today. The nervousness of being on a new team, that's now gone, and he's had a few good tackles already.
His father played at San Diego State and was coached by John Fox. His father, Terrell, at San Diego State some 30 years ago. Here's a 3rd down, and Smith is in trouble and is able to get the pass away. Was he across the line of scrimmage?
Yes.
Way across the line of scrimmage. This is coming back as he connected with Junior Hemingway.
All right, Red Zone channel. Let's go to San Diego. Eddie Royale from Phillip Rivers, Red Zone.
Rivers looking to the corner. Complete. Keenan Allen. And he's to the 6-yard line. 1st and goal, San Diego. And they went right at Richard Sherman right there.
And that's something they talked about yesterday in the meeting. They felt confident in Keenan Allen's ability to compete and make plays against Richard Sherman. So we've already seen they've made adjustments and done something that Green Bay didn't do last week.
Which I'm still stunned by.
I still am too. When you have a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, you wouldn't think that he would make somebody else change his football game, but Richard Sherman did.
Two additional offensive linemen. And Matthews trying to break it to the outside, to the end zone. There is a penalty flag down.
Holding. Number 83. Offense. 10-yard penalty remains. 1st down.
It's John Phillips.
Want to show you a good old-fashioned high school option play. Here we go. Gino running the option. Pitch it. Jeremy Curley. Jeremy Curley. 39 on a 3rd and 1. That's into Packer territory. The Jets are driving, and we're going back down the 5 freeway to San Diego.
And it looks like he's throwing him down. They're going to call that. And also, when you think that ball's going inside, you're establishing strong inside arm, inside knee. So when that ball bounces back out, it's hard to adjust that, and that's where you get those holding calls.
I'm not sure what's going on here. Phillip Rivers.
Timeout here, a 2nd and goal, 7-3 after the Ryan Matthews touchdown comes off the board. Geno and the Jets, this is live.
Man open, he got it, the touchdown. Eric Decker. His first touchdown catch as a New York Jet.
Nice job by Decker with his release.
Raise your hand if you had the Jets up 14-0 on the Packers when you had breakfast this morning. Now put your hand down. You're a liar. Back to San Diego.
Just outside the 15. Avoiding a sack, Rivers. He will run it, something he infrequently does, and picks up 3.
This is something that Seattle is great at, especially down here in the red zone. You're going to see Michael Bennett lined up wide as a 4 technique, head up on that offensive tackle to the right side. And they're going to run a game. They're going to run a TE twist, and that's what got Averill clean inside that backfield to cause that pressure.
There's some jawing going on there as Rivers was run out of bounds with Bobby Wagner. Second and goal. Penalty down. Nearly intercepted. Very fortunate is Rivers. That was not picked off. Had an eye on Floyd, and we wait on the penalty.
Offside. Defense.
All right, 2 games at once now. DirecTV's Redzone channel. We got a game in San Diego and a game in Tampa here. We have a pick. Rodney McLeod picks off Josh McCown. So the Rams make a defensive play as Phillip Rivers is jawed a little bit there with Bobby Wagner. Think he wanted a flag on that, didn't get the flag. So it's 2nd and goal, full screen.
It's 2 feet, the play is over, and that a little extra shove and push. When that happens on the football field, you see flags happen all the time.
Blitz coming. Woodhead, nearly a spectacular catch, looking one way, then turning around the other. But it's incomplete. 3rd and goal.
They're going to run inside a twist to make sure that Phillip Rivers gets rid of that ball quickly. Thrown it to the outside, exactly where it needs to be, over the shoulder to where only Danny Woodhead can catch it. You know, that's a play that you're hoping that you come up with and really put yourself back in the position that you want to be, on top in the 2nd quarter with everything in your factor.
Third and goal. To the end zone. Touchdown, Antonio Gates.
Tell you what, it's going to be a good game today. Chargers about to take the lead, 10-7. They're up 9-7 already. Not a good sight here for Chiefs fans. Jamal Charles walking to the locker room in Denver. He's limping, said to be a foot injury of some kind. Update when we get it. Meantime, live in Oakland.
Puts his head down and gets a couple. Now, Alfred Blue is an interesting story. 6th-round pick at LSU this year. That was the pick that the Raiders sent to Houston for Matt Schaub, who's now the backup quarterback with Oakland.
He had that, the block punt was a game breaker in a game that was pretty tight up until that time, but there's no question they don't want Arian Foster to fade away late in the season, so they're going to make sure they can rest him at spots during the regular season to make sure that doesn't happen, and they'll have him fresh if this season gets to the point where they're making a playoff push.
Foster back in the game on 3rd and 8. Fitzpatrick with time over the middle, and it's caught by his tight end, Garrett Graham. Another first down for Houston. Graham was inactive last week with a sore back, and there's his first catch of the season.
Well, one of the things you're going to right here on the right side up the middle, one of the things you're going to see is that linebacker, C.O. Moore, was in very good position, but a quarterback is taught at this level that if you can see the back of a guy's jersey, he is not covering that receiver. Throw that ball, let the receiver go up and make a catch. That's a great example right there of how to do it.
26-yard pickup for the tight end, Garrett Graham, on first down. It's Foster again running left and across the 25-yard line to the 24.
That's a good point by you, Steve. If the guy can't see the ball, he can't defend the ball, and the quarter at 10, and Derek Carr is learning that as well. A quarterback has to know that at this level, there are certain throws you have to make, whereas in the college level, you'd never think about doing it, and that was one of them. And what a great catch by Graham.
Already 125 yards of offense for Houston in this first quarter. Foster again. And we go back to New York again. Another update with JB and Coach Coward.
An ex-basketball player in the mix here.
Yeah, how many times have we seen this? Phillip Rivers to Antonio Gates. Puts the move on back of the end zone, 8 yards out. And San Diego back up on top, 10-7.
Tony Gonzalez says, I've seen those moves before. Andrew, Steve, and Steve.
All right, guys, another big third down coming up here for the Houston Texans. They're 3 for 3 on third downs in this opening quarter. It's a 3rd and 6 for Ryan Fitzpatrick. 5 on the play clock.
Looks like the Raiders coming with pressure off this left side.
And a timeout is called for by Houston with the play clock winding down. First
timeout here, so we're going to go live to Lambeau where Jordy Nelson, look at this nice catch on Laron Landry. Nice catch, Jordy Nelson.
Lacey on the mend from concussion symptoms, and Mike McCarthy said he was just ready to go today. Again, no huddle for the Packers.
Well, and one of the ways to alleviate a defense's pressure is in a combination of packages like the Jets are doing is to get the quick snap, and you can see the Packers getting to the line quickly every time.
2nd and 9. Rodgers. Pump, pulls it down, on the move, tripped up. See if he got the first down. It appears he might have it close to the 40-yard line of the New York Jets. Demario Davis tripped him up. That is a Green Bay first down.
The Jets are doing a good job up the field covering, and Rodgers doesn't have his first couple throws. He takes off and is able to pick up that first down, but Davis does a nice job of reacting, coming up and getting the shoestring tackle.
New set of downs for Rodgers at the Jets 41. With time, little flare out to Lacey. Lacey with running room, looking for first down yardage. Goes out of bounds right at that marker. He has enough for the first down at the Jets 30. Veteran teams don't panic when they fall behind by 2 touchdowns, do they?
Veteran teams and veteran quarterbacks, and you can see they hurry up to the line of scrimmage because they want the defense to think they're going to snap the ball quickly. Sometimes they milk the entire clock trying to get protection declarations, and other times they snap it quickly.
5-2, let's go. Andy 2, 5-6, pinch it. Go, pinch. 319, 319 up.
Rodgers steps up, has all kinds of time. Sideline, that's complete. To the 20-yard line, Randall Cobb. And that is another Green Bay first down.
And this is an area of the field, when you get down to that 20-yard line in the red zone area, you look for pressure. A lot of times defenses like to bring pressure, hoping to get that sack, hoping to get that negative play to knock you back, maybe out of field goal range or just to put more pressure on the offense in the existing downs.
So they're right to the line again. Still 13 seconds remaining on the play clock, and Rodgers is ready to go. Under pressure again, he lost the football on the ground. The Jets have it. The question is, was he trying to throw it? Rodgers says he was.
It wasn't a normal throwing motion. He switches it over to his left hand.
The ruling on the field was a shovel pass. It's an incomplete pass. It's 2nd down.
Not Aaron Rodgers' prettiest pass he ever threw, but it did the trick.
Well, he likes to improvise, and they're having it over in his left hand. He sees he's under pressure and just trying to.
All right, a couple of things to clean up here. Number one, number 30 is not LaRon Landry. That's Darren Walls for the Jets. My apologies. Jamal Charles, number 2, is questionable to return. The Chiefs say it's an ankle injury. And on the other side of the screen now, we have a red zone for the Houston Texans. Aaron Rodgers to throw on 2nd and 10. He throws complete. That's Eddie Lacy down on the 12. They're going to be about 2 yards shy of the first down. It'll be 3rd down coming up. Meantime, 2nd and 4 on channel 717. Flag on the play as we come down to the final minute 37 in the first quarter in Oakland. Texans trying to go to 2-0. The Raiders trying to avoid 0-2. Red Zone channel again. These two games on 716 on your left, 717 on your right. Offsides is the call on Oakland. 2nd down, half the distance to the goal.
Just got the playoff. Rodgers throws in.
Jordy Nelson has a catch down to the 1. It'll be 1st and goal after another pretty play by Jordy Nelson. And the Packers always go no huddle these days. Hurry up, but you have to think they're going to hurry up as much as they can here and not let anyone throw a replay challenge flag. Rex Ryan's thinking about it. Fitzpatrick, back of the end zone. Andre Johnson tips it up in the air. That ball almost got picked off. Incomplete. The Jets have thrown the challenge flag. It'll be up to Walt Anderson to make a decision, and I don't know that that's a catch. Let's go full screen Oakland while they look at it at Lambeau.
Receiver, but he ain't going to make that catch. That was great coverage by the Raiders. Ryan Fitzpatrick needs to be more careful with the football down here deep in the red zone.
Well, yes, he's been on 5 teams in 10 years. That's one of the reasons. He'll make a throw like that in the wrong spot.
Playing great, and then all of a sudden, where did that come from?
Garrett Graham in at tight end, not J.J. Watt here on 3rd and 1. Foster has the first down, still moving his legs. No signal yet, and he is down at the 1. So it's 1st and goal for the Texans.
There were a lot of Texans signaling there, Andrew. There were some signals, just not the right ones. And Arian Foster, that effort to try and get that ball to the goal line. He's a big, strong man too. You don't realize how big these guys are until you look them in the eye.
Well, you look them in the eye.
Early. Yeah,
I'm looking at their
you're
chin.
Looking up at them.
And Foster does such a great job. We've seen it a couple of times.
45-yard field goal try for the rookie Cairo Santos here for the Chiefs. And again, Jamal Charles, they say ankle injury. His return from the team officially here is questionable. That field goal is ugly, but it's good. 7-3 is the score. Kansas City is on the board. We have a flag. Full screen, please, in Oakland.
Delay game. Offense, number 14. 5-yard penalty. First down.
You can't take those.
Well, all of us up here have had many chances to watch and get to know Ryan Fitzpatrick. Obviously, think very highly of him as a quarterback, as a person, but right there, a veteran of his experience level has got to be more aware. That cannot happen. When you're on the 1-foot line, it's a totally different situation to get moved out to the 6-yard line.
First Houston penalty today. And now it's Arian Foster again, up the middle and in, touchdown. Arian Foster with a big first quarter.
Take a bow and a big early lead for the Texans. Rex Ryan threw the challenge flag, and Walt Anderson says you win that challenge. Incomplete. 4th down.
Mike Carey, thank you very much. And the call is overturned until the line of scrimmage is once again the 13-yard line. Trent, your point was that it bounced a couple of times. How appropriate. We had Charles Barkley in the studio today. It looked like Jordy Nelson was dribbling inside the 5.
Yes, Charles was in the studio for the whole show. He had opinions on a bunch of different things going on in the National Football League and even made some picks along the way.
Mason Crosby. 15 straight field goals going back to last season. This one from 31 yards out to get the Packers on the board. And it is good.
Field goal is good here. Extra point is good in Oakland. And we are going to go to San Diego, where Philip Rivers is coming out firing here. This is a heck of a game. 10-7. You see Allen matched up with Sherman.
You've got to test players. They're out there for a reason. Everybody's good in the NFL. But I don't like what you're sending to your offense, that you don't have confidence to get the job done, all because of one player.
Danny Woodhead breaking out of a tackle from Bobby Wagner and is able to spin down to the 31-yard line. So, David Deal, here we are again. A very manageable 3rd down and 2. With Richard Sherman, you're talking about a guy who became the first player since Champ Bailey with 8 or more interceptions in back-to-back years. 3 times they've thrown at him today, and they're perfect.
They sure are, and that is what we heard from San Diego. They said, we're going to play our offense. We're going to run our game. We know he's a great player, but we can't let him change who we are and our identity.
Woodhead, depending on the spot, might have enough for a 1st down. He says he has it. There's a little fire and passion from the 5'8", 200-pounder out of Chadron State in Nebraska.
And this just shows the toughness and the competitiveness of Philip Rivers. I mean, talk about a football picture right there. Bloody hands delivering that football on a key 3rd down to keep this drive going down into the red zone. That's what we know Philip Rivers for.
Little delay to Matthews. Or Donald Brown they give it to, and he spun down to the 21.
Number 74, offense. 10-yard penalty remains, 1st down.
That's a center, Ornberger.
He's got a tough job ahead of him. Brandon Mebane is one of the best in the NFL. He is so smart. He knows how to work the off hands. Watch him. Watch him inside here. Here's Brandon Mebane going one-on-one against Ornberger. Going to see him pull, get his hands inside. That last stretch right there, getting those hands outside of the framework, especially with the running back. You keep your hands inside, a running back can break an arm tackle. But those penalties right there down when you're marching in, you can't have those.
First down and 20, all-out blitz coming. And Rivers throws, and it's incomplete. He had an eye on Malcolm Floyd, but he had bodies hanging all over him, including Bruce Irvin.
Update from Denver. Broncos on top of the Chiefs, 7-3. Peyton Manning hit a deep ball early to Emmanuel Sanders to start this game. Here is a short one and a big run. That is Demaryius Thomas for 80. Sorry if you have Demaryius Thomas. It's coming back. Chris Clark was illegally downfield. Not a touchdown, sorry. I'm a bad guy. 7-3.
That's where the mismatches come.
In the hands of Royal. Great blocking in front of him. And he's able to get inside the 25. They'll mark it just inside the line.
Do a great job out here. They're going to run that little quick screen. You're going to see King Dunlop and Reinhardt get out here and really make that play and give that running back or that wide receiver Eddie Royal a two-way go. He can take that inside. He can take that outside. Just get on your guy and let the receiver make the play.
San Diego 6 out of 7 so far on 3rd downs. And again, the Seahawks showing blitz. 5-man rush. Rivers too tall for Allen. Byron Maxwell in coverage, and out comes the field goal unit to try and add to this 3-point Chargers lead.
Get a great job of stepping up, holding up in protection. Can't make the throw, but we go back to it, that 3rd and 8 situation. These are the things that down the stretch can cause problems for this offense if you don't keep them in those 3rd and shorts that they've been successful of pursuing and getting those first downs.
43-yard field goal try by Novak out of the hold of Cypress. And just did sneak it in the upright.
All right. We're going back and forth. We're going to go to Green Bay on DirecTV's Red Zone channel, 2nd and 7.
Yard touchdown run. He's got that kind of speed, so it's a good combination to have for Rick. He agreed.
quick pass. That's Curley, and Curley diving across the 45 and looks to be about a half yard short of a first down.
You knew there had to be a quick throw in there when they let the defensive end or outside linebacker come off free from that left edge. They're trying to bait him into getting upfield because you're trying to dump it over the top. Good job by Curley in open space getting it upfield.
Third and short yardage. Tommy Bohannon in at fullback. The give is to Bohannon straight ahead for a first down. Bohannon's first carry of the season.
Well, it's nice to throw those guys a bone every now and then. You know, all the blocking that he's doing for those backs, you know, just give him the ball every now and then, just feed him a little bit.
First down Jets now at the 49. Geno Smith throwing sideline. Nice defensive play made on the near side. That's Tremont Williams.
Want to take it to Tampa. It's 7-7. Look at this play. This is Austin Davis to Tavon Austin. Austin to Austin, except he never had the ball. This is not a pick six or a fumble return or anything for a touchdown. Don't worry about this. What you should worry about, especially if you're a Rams fan, is the right leg of Tavon Austin. He got bent backwards. He is now on the sideline. On the sideline, Tavon Austin. And we might have a weather delay in Tampa. Looks like the Rams are heading to the sideline or to the bend. No, it looks like the Rams are walking off the field with 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter. We'll let you know what's going on there in a couple of seconds. But for now, let's park at Lambeau.
What was his reaction when Eric Decker signed with the Jets? First thing I did was got his phone number and called him up.
That's a veteran for a second-year quarterback. That's a veteran move to make. You know, you want to. The thing I was impressed with, he talked about his offseason and the preparation that he did in the film that he studied and how much he wants to be better. He definitely put the work in this offseason.
3rd and 6. Geno Smith spreads the field. He's going to keep it straight ahead. Running room. First down. Inside the 40 to about the 39, maybe the 38.
All right, that's confirmed. There is a lightning delay in Tampa. 6:03 remaining first quarter. They have suspended the game. Derek Carr, this is safe to say a career-long run in his second game. Derek Carr, good for 41 yards. Raiders are matriculate. Now the Raiders are getting picked off. Back to Tampa. Turnover in Oakland. Details forthcoming.
And this one is going to be thrown for a loss. Chris Johnson dragged down by Mike Daniels. And that would appear to be the last play of the first quarter. We'll take a break and go to the second quarter. The Jets 14 and Green Bay 3.
All right, Red Zone, they're going to a break. We're going to go here to Houston and Oakland, and this is Kareem Jackson with a pick of Derek Carr. So he got him 41 yards on that scramble, and then the rookie gets picked off when J.J. Watt's throwing him to the turf.
8th career interception for Kareem Jackson. First interception thrown by Derek Carr in his NFL career. And now the Texans with golden field position. Fitzpatrick steps up, fires to Andre Johnson. Johnson has a first down to the 10. A 14-yard pickup.
So the Chargers are giving the Seahawks everything they could handle at home in San Diego. This is Percy Harvin after a somewhat shady 51-yard touchdown earlier. Here he fumbles a kickoff. Darryl Stuckey the recovery. Chargers are driving, and they are now in the red zone. Danny Woodhead to the 14-yard line. We'll keep an eye on it. In the meantime, red zone for the Texans.
Grimes on 1st and goal. And he maybe gets a yard out of that. Jonathan Grimes with just his second carry of the season.
Well, that was the first interception of Derek Carr's career there, and the pressure falls squarely. You look at the ball control stat right there. Look at the difference. Only 8 plays for the Raiders, but the defense really has got to answer the bell this time. You know, they've been on the field a lot, no doubt about it, but they've got to dig deep and find a way to hold Houston to a field goal here in order to give their team a chance to stay in the ball game.
Grimes at running back again. He takes the carry. Stacked up at the line, gets away, now thrown back, but a penalty comes in. That was C.O. Moore on the tackle. But we'll have to see what the penalty flag is.
I mentioned the Chargers are in the red zone. Here they are on the other side of your screen. This is a 2nd and 5. They're on the 10. Need to get to the 5 for a new set of downs. The bloodied Philip Rivers out of the shotgun. Swings it to the outside. Danny Woodhead right at Earl Thomas and threw him down to the 3. That is a 1st and goal for the Chargers. Now, if you'd like either of these games on a big screen, we have a bigger screen for you available. 7:13 in San Diego, 7:17 in Oakland. 2nd and goal for the Texans. They're up 14-0, and they're on the 19-yard line.
Really plays into the advantage of the Chargers. We're going to run out.
That's Alfred Blue, the rookie who last week had a blocked punt for a touchdown. He has the carry. Alex Smith, a long scramble, not pictured for the Chiefs. They've driven to the 22 of the Broncos. That game is on 7:15, exclusively on NFL Sunday Ticket on DirecTV. If by chance you're looking for the Bucs and the Rams, they are in a lightning delay in Tampa.
Spur on the crowd here in Oakland.
Remains 1st down.
Darth Vader in the house, evidently lifting his helmet like it's Empire Strikes Back.
See him right in the face.
Fitzpatrick ball tip incomplete. It's going to be 4th down. 1st and goal coming up for the Chargers.
Get your hands out of one way or another.
And on channel 716, the Jets have a 4th and 2. And they are on the +30. 7:16, Jets are going for it. At least the offense is on the field on 4th and 2.
Down here in the red zone will pay dividends.
Jets convert the 4th down. Philip Rivers, 1st and goal. Rivers pressured. Flag, throws, caught, no, incomplete, I beg your pardon. Field goal, good in Oakland, 17-0, Texans.
That's Johnny Troutman called for the infraction, but how about that hit? Malcolm Smith on Philip Rivers.
You see this? They say hits on the quarterback are cumulative. And those are the hits that you don't want any quarterback taking during a game. You got to give Philip Rivers credit, standing in the pocket, rolling it out, throwing and delivering that ball with the pressure in his face. But when you break that contain, when you roll it and have those clean hits, that's what you want as a defense, because the next thing he's going to be doing is he's going to be looking for who's coming for him.
First and goal inside the 5 is turned into 1st and goal outside the 20. And that'll bring us to the 2-minute warning.
All right, 2 games at once here. We're going to keep it here. There's the 2-minute warning. We're going to bounce out of that one. We'll get back to San Diego when we need to. In the meantime, 1st down for the Chiefs. They're on the 15-yard line. Jamal Charles left the game. His return questionable. They're calling it an ankle injury. That is Niall Davis. Niall Davis out of Arkansas with the carry. On the other side, 3rd and 3. The Jets went for it on 4th down from the 30. Geno Smith, complete pass, keeps the drive alive. This will be the 15th play of the drive for the Jets. That's Jeremy Curley in motion on the right of your screen. Geno, complete. Bilal Powell, say that name 5 times fast. 1st down to the 4. 1st and goal coming up for the Jets. This is a 2nd and 9 carry for the Chiefs. And again, it's Niall Davis in his 2nd year with the Chiefs.
A lot of times as a young quarterback, when you start that scramble, you lose that vision upfield. He knew right away for that 3rd, 4th check.
Hear what Tracy Wolfson said. Again, the latest update from the Chiefs. Ankle, questionable. Lightning delay if you're looking for the Rams and Bucs. Lightning delay at Raymond James.
Not much there. The 2nd year back out of Arkansas, who was lined up to Alex Smith's right.
Got to keep Alex Smith in the pocket here.
3rd and 4 for Alex Smith. Niall Davis. Is it a completion or not? Look good from here. Granted, I'm 800 miles away. Gene Steratore says catch. First down. Handoff. Jets pushing to the 1. Touchdown. Touchdown for the Jets. Oh my. About to be 21-3 at Lambeau. Let's go to Denver.
Would the game clock operator please set the game clock to 11 minutes and 17 seconds. 11.
So wait, they ruled it in. I thought he said it was complete.
They did, and then they went back and did 3 officials, and they overturned their own call.
Well, full speed, of course, that's when you got to judge it. If it's a bang-bang play, then it's incomplete.
I'll tell you, if I'm Andy Reid, I throw that red flag out there. And that's what he's going to do. He's going to challenge it. He's going to say that was a catch and a fumble out of bounds like they officially ruled it on the field the first time.
Kansas City is challenging the ruling on the field of a completed pass. Timeout.
Go to San Diego in progress. There's a challenge there, and our referee that will make the decision in Denver is Gene Steratore. Here we are in San Diego.
And we saw this the last drive. The penalty pushes them back, forces them a field goal. They get the ball down inside the 5. Penalty, 10 yards back with the hold. Get another penalty, or with the face mask penalty. Get another holding call, penalty. You bust your butt to get all the way down here to give yourself the best opportunity to put a touchdown on the board. But when you make those mental errors yourself, it pushes you out of the tempo of what you want to do, and it doesn't give you a great advantage.
And now timeout with 1:11.
Timeout. San Diego first team timeout.
1:11.
Timeout. Let's go to Oakland. 17-0. 10:20 remaining. Second quarter. It's one-sided.
He's on a bit of a pitch count to start this year in the sense that he only played 65% of the snaps last week, but he comes up to make a big tackle there.
Well, Brian Cushing's only played 12 games the last 2 years because of those 2 major left leg injuries.
McFadden on the Wildcat. There's a flag down on the play as he gets up to the 28-yard line. McFadden also ran that once last week and handed off. This time he kept it. And here's the call.
Offside. Defense, number 24. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
It's on Jonathan Joseph, the 9th-year corner.
Yeah, with McFadden in the backfield of that Wildcat and with Murray coming around, Latavius Murray, those 2 guys are, they're both over 6 feet. Murray is 225, and they can both run 4.3 40. So that stretches the defense pretty thin in the run game, trying to corral both those 2 big, fast guys. You better have some guys attacking line of scrimmage if they go back to that personnel set again.
Well, the officials are huddling up. They've got the ball spotted at the 28-yard line. Should be 2nd and 1, and now we're set to go.
And now they've only got 10 seconds or 11 seconds on the play clock. Now they reset it. Yeah, okay.
Rivera goes in motion. Play action. Carr running left. Finds Rivera. He's got the first down. And tackled at the 34-yard line. Kendrick Lewis on the stop for the Texans defense.
Well, Mike Rivera came back to the
Let's go to Denver. Gene Steratore says catch, first and goal.
How long did it take for you to discern that that was definitely a catch?
Well, I had the luxury of a monitor right in my face, so it was an instant call for me. On the field, there's a lot to process, and so it's a pretty difficult call, but on the live feed, I could see it.
What made it interesting is they originally called it a catch, and then they overturned it.
Somebody came in and reversed it, yes.
And, of course, instead of it being 4th down and bringing out a field goal attempt, a short one, they got a first down. Thank you, Mike Carey. 1st and goal to go at the 3, and they spread it out here with 3 wides. Still going to run it. And that middle of the field is clogged by the Bronco defense.
What do the Seahawks do now? Because now they're down. And they're down 20-7. Antonio Gates on his way to Canton, perhaps, with this one from Phillip Rivers in the back of the end zone. Add 7 to that 13, please. It's 20-7. 1:04 remaining. Second quarter.
Down near the